What is up, everybody, NC?
JC and
We got a Triple H is a bad booker, and this one is on the Roman and CM Punk feud, which has just been awful. It's been very bad, and it started out as something kind of promising at one time, but then just evolved into pure crap. Like, I have not been excited at all for this match. And what's really sad is, on paper, this is a match that I think a lot of people wanted to see, but the build for these matches, especially compared to Cody and Randy, it's not bad, but it's nothing compared to what Pat is doing. Pat is doing his best to really keep Randy and Cody as something to be talked about. And really, I hate to say it, it feels like Punk's getting in a bunch of lame, one-sided shots, and Roman is kept at a tether. I don't think Roman's allowed to say certain things. I think he's kept at guardrails, and I think it's led to a very stale feud that only gets worse and worse on the mic. It's just really pathetic how bad this feud's got. So let's start off with, the genesis. So early February 2026, Roman makes it official. So he says that, I could go for anybody. I could go for the biggest star available. I could go for you because you're on Netflix. But no, I'm picking you because I hate you. I've always hated you. And WrestleMania is going to be the greatest day of my life because in the main event, you will acknowledge me. So this should be something where immediately where he says, I hate you, it should be a blood feud. Yep. If he truly hates him, it should be a type of thing where he doesn't hold back on the mic. There should be no guardrails, but there are, which really tone down the feud. So let's take it over to here to March. So Roman opened by demanding acknowledgement. Punk interrupted. They went back and forth in the ring. It got very personal, so to speak, with Roman calling Punk out as a liar. And Punk firing back by highlighting Roman's isolation and dropping the controversial father reference. Which, he never got his receipt for that at all. Which in pro wrestling, you have to get your receipt. He never got it. So, Punk to Roman in the early segment. That's what he had to say.
why do you look so angry, man? Why are you mean-mugging me? Think of this. Less is an interruption and more of me feeding that gigantic ego of yours. I'm giving you what you want. I'm acknowledging Roman Reigns. You hate me? I got you right where I want you. I made you this emotional lady. You hate me. I'm in your head as empty as it is. I'm under your skin. I'm here to tell you that it's translucent. I can see right through you.
You're right. I do hate you. But this is what you're missing, Phil. If you didn't have that title, I would be indifferent to you. You wouldn't exist. You wouldn't even be on my radar. We brought you back here to entertain the 30 to 40-year-old virgins that live with their mom and dad. We brought you back to sell a few t-shirts here and there, but we didn't bring you back to be champion. You're not CM Punk. You're just a punk-ass bitch to me. And at Mania, this backup plan, it ends. We're gonna send you down to NXT to hump on the bitches. I mean, you're going to teach the next generation, and the tribal chief is gonna smash each and every one of them. Believe that. So that was something where we're like, is that all you got? But Punk, he had to get the last word, so here's what he said.
You said a bunch of shit, and we've got to cover all of it. First things first, who's we, asshole? You got some extra Samoan goblins in your pocket that I can't see? You are all alone. No, you're all alone. And I love moments like this because it illustrates to me, you're going to retire me? You're going to retire CM Punk? Well, brother, you just made the list. Click, click. You went from getting beat at WrestleMania, now I'm going to bury you. And then you won't be alone anymore because I'm going to bury you next to your father.
Ooh, such hardcore heat coming from a guy that needs an oxygen tank to finish a 10-minute match. Real tough man there. So, April 6, 2026, Raw, Punk's solo pipe bomb in Houston. The one that the internet talked about, the one that TKO made sure to like on Instagram. So Punk opened the show sitting cross-legged, to get the nostalgia going for all the fat neckbeards in their basements. And he gave them another pipe bomb style rant, WWE term now. So Roman wasn't there, it was one-sided but heavily targeted him alongside broader shots at The Rock, Pat McAfee, ticket prices, and WWE TKO corporate. It felt raw and off-script in places. So key shots at Roman from reports complications. Punk called him out as boring, plastic, and manufactured. Gee, I wonder where he got that from. referenced him eating dog food for a weird old man because he's afraid to say the name of the man who made him the most famous. The man that made him a bigger name than any other entity out there. But yeah, go ahead and throw shots at the weird old man. And positioned himself as the one carrying the feud in the company while Roman coasts part-time. He framed the match as him exposing Roman's limitations. Pat McAfee is more part-time than both of you put together, and he put in more work for his feud than both of you put together. What's the excuse?
There is none. I mean, at the end of the day, Pat McAfee busts his ass. He's an entertainer. CM Punk is just a happy to be there slob. He's a lazy fucking slob. That's what CM Punk is. He's lazy. And he really needs to hear. Like, I really wish the crowd, other than calling him old, would call him lazy. Because that's really what he is. He's just mailing this in.
Well, he's a guy that has had, especially for somebody like a matchmark crowd that the IWC is nowadays, they never call him out on his poor conditioning. Or if they do, it's very tongue-in-cheek, like a joke, like, haha, this is not a real problem. No, if you're a top guy, especially a world champion, and you have absolutely pathetic cardio, you deserve to be called out for it. Here he is just eating at Mindy's bakery, getting fat as fuck, getting, the muffin top fill going. He's not in his best shape. He pulls in really bad matches whenever he wrestles. They're not good. And nobody really calls him out on it. Like we said earlier, he had to have an oxygen tank to help him finish his match. I believe it was against Drew McIntyre. So it's like, this shows you that this guy has no stamina, and he hasn't been working on the stamina. Instead, he'll go and work on his beach muscles for a little bit, get a little of that TRT. But no, he won't hop on a treadmill. Meanwhile, a guy like Roman, he's doing cardio twice a day, 45 minutes a piece.
Yep.
He's putting in the work. Yeah, he's not doing all he can for the promos. And don't get me wrong, it really helped to have Paul Heyman carry a lot of his feuds in the past. He's solo for this. And not only that, but he's doing so much stuff on the side. I think that Punk is being a bitch here for saying that he's having to cut a heated promo on absent opponent. That's not that hard if you really hate this guy. If you're really true to form and you say you hate this guy, you should be analyzing every single thing about him. It should be like almost like something like a Mark Madden type playbook where you break down, okay, I could pick apart that, I could pick apart that, I could pick apart that. Especially for somebody that calls himself a promo god, you should know how to analyze and dissect your opponent. This is just promo cutting 101, especially for somebody who treads the heel line as much as you do. And doesn't care about cutting these pipe bombs, which are totally heelish, by the way, for a babyface character. Doesn't care. This is the one thing I love, is that Cody and Punk are supposed to be these super babyfaces, yet they cheat all the time. They use weapons during their matches. They cut these shoot promos. They make their opponent look like shit. This is the type of shit they teach you on the indies not to do. And they do it here in the big time. Unprofessional.
It's totally unprofessional. And I think it underscores, like, everything that we've said about CM Punk so far. I think it reflects more broadly on Triple H's creative, the whole process, to where it's lazy. They encourage laziness. If you're getting over on your own like an LA Knight, they're not going to reward you. But if you're like CM Punk or like Cody Rhodes, who are fucking lazy as shit, oh, Cody Rhodes got bloodied again. It's lazy. It's fucking lazy. Actually, go out there and cut an entertaining promo for once in your life, Cody. Like, this is the thing. It's like, it's the laziness that I can't fucking stand. And like we just talked about Pat McAfee. We just did a show about Pat McAfee and why he's awesome. Pat McAfee's a guy who actually puts the fucking effort in. And you see it.
I mean, it was out of nowhere with Darby Allin winning the AEW World Championship. But at the very least, I could say he cut a very passionate promo. More so than any promo that Cody Rhodes has cut recently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, him too. I mean, the promo that even he cut on Dynamite. It's like, it's him, Pat McAfee. It's like everybody else on the other companies are fucking trying. It's like right now, like TNA, AEW, you're getting better products, in my opinion, than you're getting in WWE because they don't have to try. And this is a reason why the ticket sales are not sold out, because they're not fucking trying creatively, and the talents like CM Punk are not trying. He's lazy.
He's just a lazy, tired old man. Let's be honest. So April 13th, 2026 Raw, final go-home confrontation. Hate takes over. The emotional capper. Roman aired a pre-taped message accusing Punk of hypocrisy, okay, and revising history, not too bad, but still treaded the line. Punk responded from the announce table that they met in the ring, both admitted mutual hate, envy, and a surprisingly vulnerable, legacy-focused exchange. Punk even acknowledged for the father line, Roman closed it strong. So Roman said pre-taped to Punk, "I told you to enjoy that relevancy that you had left. And what did you do? You did exactly what I thought you would. You lied. You tried to revise all the tribal chiefs' history. Nobody believes in you, Punk. It's not 2012 anymore. In the main event, tonight, I'm gonna give you, Phil, one more opportunity. Either you're going to tell the truth tonight, or I will.
And then CM Punk said to Roman, here's the truth. I thought about it a lot over the last couple of weeks. I hate you. I hate you because I envy you. This is all I ever wanted. And I envy the fact that it was handed to you. And I hate that you were champion for 1,316 days, because after some self-reflection, I hate that I know how hard you worked your ass off to get to be that great. I hate that I invoked your father's name in vain, and I sincerely apologize to you. I hate that there's more than one royal family in wrestling, and I hate that I envy the fact that I wasn't born into a dynasty. I busted my ass, and I made pro wrestling my home. On April 19th, I'm gonna have gold above my head, and the ring announcer is gonna be saying, "And still heavyweight champion of the world. Tell me when I'm telling lies."
Well, and that was just done to pop the crowd. That's the sad thing about what he said, is it was just a cheap pop. And if he truly hated the man, why would he go so far to basically fillet him on live TV? That's what they didn't show you, by the way, is when the cameras went off the air, he pulled down Roman's pants and went to work in front of the live crowd. That's what it felt like. Like, how can you make it this weak, especially for saying that you hate him? You're going to hate him, so you're going to go ahead and give him props? You're going to go ahead and give him love? And not only that, but this guy had a long reign himself. I mean, he held the title for, 434 days?
He did.
He had a long reign as well. Sure, it wasn't 1,316 days, but at the same time, even with Paul Heyman by his side, Punk has never been able to generate the type of storytelling and heat that Reigns has. Call him boring all you want. Reigns, even as a part-timer, has more star power and means more to the industry than CM Punk in the long term. Punk couldn't work this feud with anybody else but Reigns.
No.
If you really want to look at it. And it just frustrates me so much. Like, we were talking about it. Like, all the stuff that Roman could have said and probably wanted to. Like, he had to tiptoe around hypocrisy. He had to tiptoe around the NXT controversy. He wasn't allowed to mention Larry. He wasn't allowed to mention how CM Punk is screwed over his family, like doesn't talk to his brother, doesn't talk to his mom, how he shits on his friends like he did with Colt Cabana, how he's had a history of like using women like he did with Mickie James, like he's done with Christy Hemme. Just there's so many things that they could have gone on and really got Punk on, even like his failed Hollywood career. This crappy Night Patrol movie that's coming out on Tubi probably next month. They got that, you can nab him on that. You can nab him on being a Marvel inker. And that's the thing too, is as much as it pains Punk, he does not have any movie roles as big as the one that Roman did with The Rock. None. He doesn't have a role that big. I mean, the biggest role he has right now is with Roman in a voiceover role, playing zebras.
In Zootopia, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest role that he has right now, and really nobody knows it's Punk. So
it's just honestly, he's a detriment to the product at this point. Because if he had actually put his ego to the side, his fragile fucking ego to the side, and did good business, brought some of the shit from the past, the edgy stuff that we bring up on our podcast, this would have been so much fucking better. It would have had a lot more people talking, but because he's such a fucking fragile snowflake little bitch, this is what we got. I don't like you when I don't like you. That's what we got.
Well, that's what he did. He went off his past. Is like, because don't get me wrong, like people like MJF, Eddie Kingston, Hangman Adam Page, they've nabbed him on things before. And I think after that, Punk started making like almost like a promo blacklist of things that you cannot mention in a promo against him. It's amazing the type of power that this guy has weaseled himself into. And he keeps on going out for business for himself. I mean, perfect example of that to me was in the Drew McIntyre feud. He felt like Drew was landing too many personal shots. So how did he get his receipt? By busting him wide open with that toolbox. He could say it's an accident. I beg to differ. I think he said probably in the backstage, "There's your receipt, bitch." I could see that. I could see honestly something like that. And then afterwards, Drew's like, "Yeah, maybe I took it too far. Hey, it's just a cut. We cool now?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're cool." Because notice he hasn't really talked shit about Punk after that. And he even said, too, I said a lot of bad things about Punk, but when Larry died, that broke my heart. That's for somebody who's a heel like Drew to say that, it's like, I know we're breaking down the fourth wall with Unreal, but it's like, that shows you that there's a little bit of, I know, respect there maybe? I don't know.
Respect, but then also like I think Drew knows how sensitive Punk is. I think he
Yeah.
knows, and that Punk would probably go back and say, "Listen here, Paul. Okay, if I ever fucking see that shit again, if that ever fucking happens again, I'm gonna take my fucking ball and I'm gonna take it back to fucking Jacksonville, asshole."
We're waiting for it. One of these days,
Yeah.
man. We're waiting for it. So,
One of these days.
here's what Roman said to Punk in closing after he wiped the semen off his mouth. That's probably the truest stuff I ever heard you say up until the end. Let me tell you something, True. I hate you too. I hated you for a long time. That's why I must stare at you, and this romance music is gonna play as I say these sweet nothings into your ear. But the main reason is because your relationship with all these nerds. They love you. They don't see you for your poor cardio. They just love the weird liberal stuff you say. On Sunday, that's your truth. That's not the reality. The reality is that time is up. On Sunday, it ain't eat still. On Sunday, it's a new. You're still a nostalgia act. This experiment is done. On Sunday, the tribal chief takes back over, and you along with the whole world will acknowledge me. Good God, who the fuck is writing these garbage shit promos for both Punk and Roman? Both of them are like, these are such shit fucking if Vince saw this toilet paper being brought before him, he would wipe his ass with it and shove it in the writer's face. Guaranteed.
Good. No, he absolutely would. Like, this is just, it's very lazy paint by numbers writing. Like, I would just ask in all of this, where's the heat?
None. Especially, I hate you, so I'm gonna massage your ego and tell you about all the good things you've done. I'm gonna tell you I respect you so much, and we're gonna make the best feud ever. We're gonna make so much money, and this is gonna be amazing. And I respect you, but you're a nostalgia act, but I respect you, and I respect you. Would you like a BJ now? That's the whole fucking promo, and it sucks. It's garbage. Punk he's a babyface who's taking heel shots, and nobody's calling him out on it. I hate the grayness nowadays. I hate this Stone Cold bullshit. Not everybody's Stone Cold. And not only that, but it doesn't make sense. Stone Cold was anti-establishment. He was anti-corporation.
Right.
Punk is a corporate champion who goes off on corporations. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Like, what's up? Like, he's shitting on TKO. Meanwhile, he's taking a paycheck from TKO.
Meanwhile, he's their top guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's, like even Roman said, he's only defended 3 times really this year. He's not a fighting champion. And it sucks really that Roman put out one of his best promos, not on SmackDown, but on social media. We'll show you a little bit of on the news. That's what pisses me off. If you're going to see a good promo nowadays, you'll see it on social media. Oh. You're not going to see it, for the most part, on Raw and SmackDown. You get lucky with Pat. He's one of the few. But for the most part, you're not going to see good promos on either of these programs because they're so fabricated. They don't allow these people to really cut from the heart. You really have to go to these social media videos to see them cut from the heart.
It's almost like they're afraid of getting heat because like they had something where they could have worked with the whole like CM Punk talking shit about Roman's dead father. Like that could have built something where it's like Roman's now going to get revenge on Punk, and but like in a meaningful way, not like I'm going to beat him up at the fucking commentary. The reason why WrestleMania is not sold out is the writing. It's the creative. CM Punk can't save it. Roman can't save it. And they're part of the problem, if we're being honest.
Well, they have just done such a terrible job of making Punk the hero and making Roman the bad guy. Going into it, I don't care which side you're on, Roman is coming across like the good guy since he's having to deal with all the shit like the babyface does, and he can't say anything back. This is what Roman is doing is very Cena-like, Because Cena didn't really start cutting shoot promos like he did on Punk calling him the corporate champion and all that until the very end. And even then, that was his heel Cena, character. Babyface, here we got in Roman, and it's not a great babyface, but he's doing the best he can, and it really feels like the roles are reversed. It should be Punk, yes, he's the babyface champion going to this, and Roman should be the heel stepping up. Instead, it's in reverse, and even they don't understand how to properly convey that to the fans.
But even with that, it's like to me, I think it should have been the other way around. I think CM Punk should have been the heel champion who's willing to kick, bite, scratch, claw, do whatever he has to from Roman Reigns, who earned that fucking title shot.
Well, it should be something where he's really doing all he can. If he's a true heel, he should be doing all he can. And all the stuff he's thinking of is stuff that would pop the liberal IWC crowd. You want to really get Punk some fucking heat? Have him come out with a MAGA hat and put over Donald Trump. I'm not even joking, bro. I know he would hate that shit, but that would get him immediate heat and have him side with Pat. And have him call himself, I'm pro MAGA now. I love and respect Donald Trump. What an amazing president.
Yeah, man. Like something like that would actually get him heat. Because, like, that's the thing is you gotta, like, branch into, like...
Real life.
You gotta, like, shit on liberalism. You gotta shit on the left. Because that's primarily what most of the wrestling audience is left of. Leftists. Whiny fucking libtard dipshits.
Well, notice that Triple H got his real heat when he started siding with Donald Trump, showing up at these press conferences, doing commercials with him. He really started to get the heat of the fans, and they really started to see what we saw way, way back ago, is that Triple H can't book for shit. He never has been able to book, not even in NXT has he been able to book. He's always been a bad booker. And now they're seeing him for his faults. It really took him, seeing his political side for them to be like, he is a shitty booker. The rose-colored glasses came off for once. Oh, wow, he's very bad at what he does. That's what it took. And once you remove, that's what you do. Once you remove that mystique of him being on their side, if you side with conservatives, you're against these liberals. That's all it takes. It doesn't matter if you don't like Trump like we do, and you're a conservative. They will lump you all together. We're all a bunch of... It doesn't matter if you're even a left-leaning conservative. Centrist-leaning conservative, doesn't matter. You're in that same category. You're a Nazi. You're a Trump lover. You're a MAGA lover. We've been called that so many times for just daring to call out what the IWC is. Overly liberal. It's a huge majority of what we have left, and it's a big reason why we're not allowed to have entertaining angles. Why the product is so safe, because they have to coddle to these child brains. That's the reason why we're not allowed to have another Attitude Era, is because of these child brains, these snowflakes. They would do all they could to complain and get it taken off the air. Look at what they did not too long ago with Raw Underground. They were offended that scantily clad women were grinding on poles. Oh, the humanity. How even Lance Storm was saying, how about we get some gay guys in there in Speedos? Where's my eye candy? Nobody cares about your eye candy, Lance. You've had it for the last fucking 50 years. That's all you've seen is dudes in underwear. How about we see chicks in underwear?
Oh, that would be degrading to women, even though they do that now. That's what like a lot of women's wrestlers do, like even now. Like but like not to the level of like what the Attitude Era was giving you, you know? Like that would actually bring a lot of the casual male audience back. But no, we gotta cater to the fucking gender fluid, libtard asshole audience that somehow also loves Triple H and will defend him. Like the whole thing doesn't, like, these people are basket cases. They're like contradictions. They're living contradictions that are just like designed in a lab to kill wrestling.
They're a lot like CM Punk. They really fit his mold of being low IQ liberal hypocrites that constantly put their foot in their mouths and look like idiots. And just recently, like, Punk was talking about how we live in a society that doesn't allow kids to chop off their wieners. Why does he care? You're 47 years old. What do you care about teenagers cutting off their wieners and pretending that they're a woman? Why does that matter to you so much? Why are you so passionate about it? Why? Because the liberals care about it. Because the IWC cares about it. Because they grandstand. And if there's ever anything to grandstand on, whether it be trans rights for kids, whether it be, whatever flag of the month you want to put up in your bio, anti-ICE, whatever it is, he's going to parade against it. He's going to be 100% against Donald Trump, yet still collect a paycheck from somebody who goes and hangs out with Donald Trump as much as possible.
Yeah,
he's a contradiction. And never call him out. He's a contradiction, he's a hypocrite, and he's a piece of garbage. And at the very least, Roman, he's doing what he can with the terrible writing. I think that he's doing what he can. There's only so much you can do, especially when you have shitty writers writing for you. We've seen some of the promos that had been written for Punk, and that person that wrote those promos got promoted to head of Raw. So, yeah, not a good situation considering that those types of people are getting promoted. So, yeah, not a good situation heading in for Roman and Punk. There's a reason why nobody really cares about this match, and they're really having to do all they can to salvage. It's going to be very, very rough after night 1 and night 2 for Raw to really pick up that heat. It's going to be super hard. They're going to need to pull some sort of surprise out of their butt They're going to need to have a big name or something show up on the following Raw, because even if they do have surprises for night 1 and night 2, which I don't think they will, it's not going to be enough to save this, because looking at Roman and Punk, you can't, if your main event can't save the night, what can? You know?
Well, but I would ask the question, who do you bring back?
If Stone Cold is physically healthy and ready to go for at least one more match in a, like, SummerSlam or something, yeah, cool. If Rock can come back, which I don't think he will, cool. That's awesome as well. Batista's been talking a lot about a comeback lately, and they've been name dropping him. That would be a big surprise to a lot of fans, especially with his Hollywood career kind of like right now. That would be a big surprise to a lot of fans. John Cena, saying that he's not coming back, with that retirement little tweet on that little Instagram post, but then he comes back in a full-time capacity. That could be another one. There's a couple options out there, but I think the possibility of a lot of these options, even if Vince or Shane come back, is very slim. I think with Triple H's WrestleMania, expect for it to be a shit card. Don't get your hopes up. If you don't get your hopes up, it's so easy to walk in and actually be surprised if he does something right. Actually be surprised if TKO gets involved and pulls some strings to make an entertaining night 1 or night 2 or both. Just saying.
Absolutely. I mean, they got to do something. They really need to do something, because, as bad as this Mania build has been, what's going to happen afterwards? What's going to happen afterwards as we head into the May lull or the fall lull? What's going to happen to the viewership, to the interest in the product after this Mania when you have no major stars you can bring back? Who are you going to bring back? Cena's retired, Stone Cold is too old. The Rock, you can't really rely on that, and I think the fans would feel that a lot of the people who watch WWE would feel that same way. Who do you bring back? There's nobody, really.
Well, that's why the fans are getting so mad at TKO for bringing in celebrities. What do you expect them to do? They are going all out to get people to talk about this terrible build for Mania. They're pulling strings that they shouldn't have to by bringing in iShow Speed, by, bringing in Jelly Roll, by bringing in Pat McAfee. They're going out of their way, more so than they did when The Rock came back for that brief appearance at Elimination Chamber. They are going all out to get you to talk about the show. And what are the fans doing? They're disrespecting TKO and saying, that's bullshit. We don't want a bunch of celebrities, even though every single WrestleMania has celebrities at it. There hasn't been a single WrestleMania that didn't have a celebrity. Even like a bottom D tier celebrity doing the fucking national anthem. There always is some sort of celebrity or some sort of musical act, some sort of celebrity at every single WrestleMania. That's why they really need to stop listening to these child brain, new fan, liberal fans. They're dumb. They're very low IQ. They don't know what they're talking about, and they're the loudest. It's an unfortunate thing. They're the loudest. And WWE says, like Nick on, we do not listen to these fans. Yet you book every single feud off of X Heat. So What are you talking about?
Exactly. That's the problem. Is they'll say on one side, we don't listen to the fans. Meanwhile, they fucking book almost exclusively for them, and that's why the ticket sales are lagging, and that's why there's no interest in the product for WrestleMania. That's why they're in the shape that they are in now, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse until Triple H gets fired. It's really the only you could switch out right as you're seeing now. You could switch out this writer and that writer, and you could put the fucking new writer bitch they got in there, or like somebody else. It doesn't matter. You get the same fucking lazy product because Triple H is the one who signs off on it at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, Triple H is the one who created the environment of laziness that CM Punk feels comfortable being lazy. He should know. He should feel like he's on the hot seat. He should feel like there's something to fucking fight for.
I mean, I'm shocked that Isla Dragunov and Io Sky weren't sandwiched somewhere into this shit sandwich. Right. I'm really shocked that two of his favorite jobber wrestlers weren't put somewhere on this card. And trust me, the fans are giving him an earful for that. Where's Io? Where's Carmelo Hayes? Where's Isla Dragunov?
They're not draws. That's where they are,
Well, you should be lucky you even got Gunther and Seth Rollins on the show, as terrible as that is. And even then, I don't want to see that match at all. There's so many matches on either of these shows that you just don't want to see. You already know Rhea and Jade is going to be awful. Nobody wants to see that. You already know Becky and AJ is going to be bad. You've seen it a couple times now, and they get worse each time. That's going to be really awful. It's going to be bad. Punk and Roman is not going to be a good in-ring match. It's going to be like 10 minutes combined of their intros, and then they finally get in the ring. It's going to be a bunch of bullshit so CM Punk can save his gas tank, and then they're going to have like a shitty 10 to 15 minute match, and Punk's going to burn out and probably beat Roman. It's like WrestleMania right now is so predictable, and there's really no interest in it for other than something might happen. We're covering it because we have to at this point. I feel like we have to cover what's going to happen if something does happen. But I can tell you for the most, if Triple H gets his way and TKO does not interfere in the show, it will be incredibly boring. You will have a lot of people tuning out and a lot of people talking shit about it afterwards. Especially with the TKO heavy direction that they're trying to do to get people to talk. They had to do this, man. They had to pull Jelly Roll out of TNA. They were going to have Jelly Roll work a feud with AJ Francis. They're like, why are you wasting Jelly Roll over in TNA? Bring him up to SmackDown. We'll have him paired with Cody because nobody gives a shit about Cody. That's how sad it is. And that's another thing, too. They had to bring in another celebrity to pair with Cody because nobody gives a shit about Cody Rhodes. You have a champion that is forced down people's throats more so than Roman or John Cena. So for all these people talking shit about, oh, Vince McMahon would shove John Cena down your throat, he would shove Roman Reigns down your throat, nothing like Cody. And that's the thing, too, is he would have taken the title off of Cody Rhodes, Vince McMahon would have, if he saw that the guy wasn't making any money in merch. He would have taken the title off him like he's done all the time. He did it to the man when she stopped making money. He'll do it to Cody Rhodes.
But Triple H won't. Triple H won't do it because Triple H is a mark who's got the power. Like, that's the problem, is that he's a mark who's got the power, and like he'll take a guy like LA Knight who was massively over, and he will do everything in his power to get him to get him like basically in a reaction, which is where he's got him now. He succeeded. He finally did the one thing that he set out to do with LA Knight and completely squashing him and not, you know, allowing him to be over. But this is like, we go back to the whole Punk Roman thing, man. Like, at the end of the day, this could have been good. No matter what anyone says, this could have been good. But with this dumb, big-nosed, dumb motherfucker, this is what you got.
Well, and it's so sad, too, because you do have seeds that they were building upon, especially like with Roman talking about the stuff that was mentioned during the Colt Cabana podcast, you know, calling him just another pretty boy, and him having a really earnest favor. And him, one thing I think Roman didn't really bring up enough of is how he had to deal with the hate right off the bat and overcame it. He overcame it and became one of the most beloved champions that WWE has had in a long time. Let's not forget, he was very, very hated at one time. To the point where he couldn't talk without there being boos for 5 minutes straight. Which to me is getting your job done. I know they were trying to make him a babyface, but still, he was getting that heat. But what he did is, through sufficient pushing and the right storyline and working with Paul Heyman, he became one of the most over babyface champions that they've had in a long time, besides John Cena.
Nope.
You know, and if it takes Paul Heyman to do that, so be it. Get him back with Paul Heyman. Get that storyline going again. Get something going again with, you know, whatever's going to get people to talk about Roman again in a positive light. I say that's the way to go. Because a guy like Punk, he's just a contradiction. He's that guy who's a venomous piece of shit, satanic asshole heel, but plays a babyface. He is a lie. He's a plastic champion. He's see-through, much like Cody Rhodes. They're so much alike if you really look at it.
They really are. They're pretty much the same. They're lazy. They're overpushed. They're politickers. They're both crybabies, even though they pretend not to be. Like, you know, you could look at them and go, they're whining in the back right now. Oh, I am at that being something even further in the main event, guys. You know that's what's going on.
I could look at it like this. Like, that's why he's going out and saying what he's saying about how he doesn't appreciate TKO involving Pat in this. Because he probably looks at it like, you know, oh, you know, I'm the golden boy. How dare they disrespect me? They should be listening to my input. I'm the son of a plumber. I could be doing so much. I could be showing them how good of a booker I am. And this is a sad thing, too, is you got Triple H saying on Cody's podcast that Cody, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk could be the future WWE creative. Blech.
Odd. No, what you're gonna get? You're gonna get a lazy product because they're fucking. I mean, right now, like, and that's the thing. Is like, even with Roman Reigns being involved in this and the shitty creative and all that, I still feel like he's somewhat trying. Whereas Punk just goes out there and cuts his fake pipe bomb promos, and he thinks that's enough. No, it's not enough. Punk, bring something new to the table. Actually, get me to care.
Let's be real about CM Punk. The last good promo that he cut was the post press conference.
Yep.
That was the last one that he cut because it was psychotic, it was off the hinge, and it showed you who the real Punk was. It showed you that he's not this baby face who he plays to be. He's a politicking, psychotic asshole. And he will put anybody under his boot who does not lick it. He's disgusting. He's a terrible person. His ego is gelatinous. And it's really a battle of the egos here when you really look at people like Triple H, like Cody Rhodes, like CM Punk. They don't have a humble bone in their body. At the very least, I think Roman's a little bit humble. I think he realizes, hey, even, I'm pushed as one of the top stars, I could still probably work on my promos. I could still probably get better in the ring. At least he's keeping up on his cardio. At least he's taking acting classes. He's doing what he can to become better. What's Punk doing besides eating pussy and eating muffins?
That and whining in the back. He's still doing that. Like in between fucking the entire NXT women's locker room, he finds a way to still get the whining in the back. Why am I being used like this? Where are my green M&Ms? Where's my crack?
AJ, get me another condom. This one's full. That poor lady. But yeah, this is the type of build and the shit that we've been succumbed to. And it's only going to get worse if Triple H is in charge. Can you imagine how bad the build is going to be for Saudi Mania? If Triple H is still in charge? It's something that I don't even think TKO and Saudi can save. They definitely have more conservatives to them than all of WWE. But I don't even think they can save what's coming. They really have to get rid of Triple H right now after Mania. Yep. Make this his swan song. Get him the fuck out the door. Say, hey, he's got to take a medical hiatus or something. He's taking time off to spend time with the kids. He's been overworked so hard. And then JD will fillet him. It's all a monster. We'll say how great he is. And, we'll sing him a little swan song. And he can disappear from consciousness and wrestling can get better, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, that's the way it's going to improve is by Triple H going away. That's how wrestling gets better.
Straight up. So it's been our Triple H is a bad booker on the CM Punk Roman Reigns feud. NC.
JCN.
Peace out.